watching Movie Guide. I'm your host, Evie Carroll, and we're at the Fox studio lot for the red carpet of Ferdinand. Let's talk to some of the cast and crew. You've done so many family-friendly movies with Blue Sky. What kind of motivates you to do those type of movies?
I love animation. I love what I do. Going to work every day for me is a privilege and a pleasure. You know, working with a crew that's as passionate as I am, it's just like, you know, fuels me, my everyday kind of like wants to be doing this. And also making movies that I can share with my family, that I can share with others. I get a broad audience is always like a message that I can put out there is always very fulfilling. So I love making movies, you know.
And you guys have like such a unique, different types of different kind of characters and everything. How do you guys come about like a story when you know it's a good one to put out there?
Well, for me, it's all about the message and the characters. You know, when I came upon like Ferdinand, like the book, you know, I already read to my kids, and I really felt that it was a great message. You know, and you know, even though the book has been around for like 80 years, you know, almost like this is still like resonates true. And I think that that's the most important part of it. You know, coming out with a good message, and then once you see that, you want to make that bigger. You know, this was the case with Ferdinand.
And did you have anyone in your life maybe to tell your kids or something, a story personally where you kind of judged them before and then you became friends with them? Or?
Well, this happens to all of us. I think there's the thing with watching this movie is like every single person watching it would been through a phase in their lives that they're being either misjudged or being like pushed to do something that's go against their, you know, their wants to do, you know, like, and I think that that's something that I tell to my kids all the time. You don't need to follow everybody, you follow your heart, you know. And then the true friends will accept you for who you are, and that's like how your life should be, and how you deal with your life, you know. And I think that that's very important.
So as we were looking at sort of Ferdinand, the original story that so many people call their favorite book ever, part of why it's their favorite is because they know they're telling the story to their children of a bull who would rather love than fight. And I think that is more resonant than ever nowadays. And so what we tried to capture in the movie is that same spirit, even though it's bigger and it's blown out and it's Kate McKinnon and it's funny, it's still the idea that staying true to who you are, even if it's not popular, never goes out of style.
Yeah. So what kind of motivated you to do this film in a family film?
Well, this journey for me began on June 11th, 1996.
Okay.
I contacted the estate because my favorite book of Monroe Leaf is Robert Francis Weatherby. But then I discovered that he had also written the story of Ferdinand. And as soon as I saw it, I immediately knew that there was a movie there, and thus began the journey for me of writing the script and pitching it 184 times and setting up the project finally in 2011. And then, so the whole journey for me is, the whole journey is 21 years, 6 months, and 4 days as a producer. So it's thrilling to be here. It's a dream come true.
And I'm sure you've already seen it completed, right? And how was that experience, kind of the first time seeing it completed?
The fruition of having so many ideas creatively change in the process. You have to have such passion and tenacity, but the message carried it through from the book. The words were 800-word book, but the words really gave us exactly the blueprint that we needed. And then with Carlos as the director and the animation team, it came to life in the most perfect way.
You played a bunch of different roles on this film because you were the writer and the head.
Right.
I don't know how you did it all, but
I'm not sure either. I'm just glad we got to this point and that the movie turned out great. But it was a fun movie to write, and it's just a great family to be part of. This is an exciting day.
Yeah. And when you guys come to a story, how do you know it's a good story for Fox to do?
Well, this is based on one of the most beloved children's books ever, and so that's a no-brainer. And we just wanted to make sure that we were sort of true to the tone and the message of the book, and it fit. I mean, it's everything that Fox Animation and Blue Sky Animation is. It's full of heart, it's full of comedy, and it's about something important. So it all worked out.
Yeah. And what kind of motivates you to do family films and animation?
Well, what motivates me is that with animation, I believe those movies are lasting. People watch them again and again and again. You look at Ice Age, which was done 20 years ago, people still watch that movie. It sits on the shelf for a long time. And those are the kind of movies that, you know, Blue Sky does that I love to be a part of, are movies that are lasting and meaningful and funny. So, yeah.
That's a wrap from the red carpet of Ferdinand. Make sure to check out the full review at movieguide.org.